A body just lying alone in the woods. No fence, no guard, no weapon. You'd think nature would move in fast. A dead body means free food, no fight, no chase, just meat. So why does almost every predator in the forest walk right past it? The answer isn't about respect. Animals don't do funerals. The real reason is stranger, and it's written into their instincts at a level they can't even override. Let's start with the most obvious guess. Maybe animals are scared of humans, even dead ones. That's partly true, but it's not the whole story, not even close. Every predator alive today survived because its ancestors were paranoid. Paranoid animals lived longer. Relaxed animals got shot, trapped, or speared. So paranoia won. That means when a wolf, a bear, or a coyote smells a human, dead or alive, its brain doesn't check, is this a threat right now? It just fires the alarm immediately. Human scent is one of the most recognized danger smells in the entire animal kingdom. Sweat, skin oils, clothing, soap, all of it gets flagged the same way as gunpowder or fire. So a fresh corpse still smells like a living human. Same sweat, same skin, same signal. The animal's brain hasn't caught up to the fact that the threat is gone. But that's only step one of the answer. There's something even bigger going on, something biological. It has to do with what a body actually is in the first few hours after death. A freshly dead body is, chemically speaking, almost identical to a living one. No decay smell yet. No rot. Nothing that says safe to eat to a scavenger's nose. Scavengers don't hunt fresh corpses. They hunt decomposition. That's a critical difference. A vulture isn't attracted to death. It's attracted to a very specific smell that death eventually produces. That smell is called cadaverine, along with another compound called putrescine. Both are produced by bacteria breaking down the body, and neither one shows up right away. It usually takes somewhere between 24 and 72 hours, depending on heat and humidity, before those smells build up enough to travel on the wind. Until then, to a scavenger's nose, there's nothing there worth investigating. So in the first day or so after death, a body is in Zaz. A strange in-between state, too dead to defend itself, not decomposed enough to smell like food. This is actually one of the most useful facts in forensic science. Investigators can estimate time of death, partly by how far along the scavenger activity is, because the animals are working on a chemical clock, not a visual one. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Scavengers aren't just cautious about smell, they're cautious about context. An animal doesn't just ask, is this dead? It asks, why is this dead? A body lying in an open field, in a place a human wouldn't normally be, is a red flag. It could mean disease. It could mean a trap. It could mean a predator bigger than them is still nearby. This is called neophobia, fear of new or unusual situations. Wild animals that survive to adulthood are, almost without exception, deeply suspicious of anything out of place. A dead body in the wrong location is about as out of place as it gets. So the safest move, evolutionarily, is to wait. Watch. Let something else test the danger first. And that's exactly what happens. The first responders to a body are almost never large predators. They're insects. Flies can detect the earliest chemical signs of death within minutes. Sometimes even before a human could smell anything at all. They lay eggs almost immediately, long before any mammal or bird gets involved. Insects don't have the same threat detection instincts as mammals. They're not afraid of humans. They're running on a much simpler, much faster system. Chemical triggers, not memory or fear. So while the wolves and coyotes are still keeping their distance, the insects are already at work, and ironically, they're the ones kickstarting the exact process that will eventually invite the bigger scavengers in. As bacteria and insect activity increase, the body starts to bloat. Gases build up internally. This is the visible sign that decomposition has officially entered its next stage. That bloating, combined with the smell of cadaverine now spreading further, is the real dinner bell. This is the moment scavengers start considering the body safe, meaning dead long enough and no longer a threat. Vultures are usually among the first larger scavengers to move in. And even they wait for very specific cues. They're famous for circling for hours before ever landing, reading the situation from a distance first. Mammal scavengers like coyotes or foxes are typically more cautious than birds. Birds can escape by flying. A ground mammal that gets it wrong could get trapped, injured, or killed. So mammals often wait even longer than birds, sometimes days, until decomposition is well underway and the human danger signal has clearly faded. By that point, the body barely smells human at all anymore. There's another layer to this too, something almost every scavenger has learned the hard way. Generation after generation, areas with dead humans are historically areas with armed humans nearby. Hunters, search parties, funeral rituals. For most of human history, a body rarely stayed unattended for long without people showing up looking for it. Animals that approached too soon often paid for it. The ones that waited survived to pass on that caution. This is why the fear isn't really about the corpse itself. It's about everything a corpse historically predicted. Danger, people, weapons, traps, competition. It's worth noting this hesitation isn't unique to human bodies. Animals show similar caution around any large, unfamiliar carcass, especially predators. A dead bear or dead big cat gets the same wary treatment. Nobody wants to be the one who guessed wrong, but human corpses seem to trigger an extra layer of caution, likely because of just how heavily human scent, sound, and presence have been linked to danger across thousands of generations. Humans have been the most dominant threat in most ecosystems on Earth for a very long time. There are exceptions, of course, in areas without much human presence, or with animals that have had less exposure to people. The hesitation can be shorter. Some studies on remote, human-avoidant regions show scavengers approaching bodies faster than in areas where hunting pressure is high. Environment also plays a huge role in the timeline. Heat speeds decomposition up dramatically. Cold slows it down to a crawl. A body in a hot climate might attract scavengers within a day. In freezing conditions, it could take weeks before enough smell builds up. So really, what looks like animals avoiding a corpse isn't hesitation out of fear of death itself. It's a layered system: scent recognition, chemical timing, risk assessment, and inherited caution, all stacking on top of each other. The corpse has to stop smelling like a living, dangerous human and start smelling like decomposing biological matter before most scavengers consider it worth the risk. Until that switch flips, it's just left alone. It's a strange thing to think about. In death, for a short window, a body is protected, not by anything it does, but by what it still smells like. The last trace of being alive becomes its only defense, and once that trace fades, nature takes over completely. Insects, bacteria, birds, and mammals all playing their part in one of the oldest recycling systems on the planet. Nothing wasted, nothing rushed, just timing, built over millions of years of survival. So the next time you wonder why nature seems to hold back, remember, it's not hesitation, it's caution earned the hard way. And that instinct has kept entire species alive for a very long time.